Filling your bellies with air. Exhale it out. One more nice big deep breath in. And exhale. Can everybody hear me okay?
Yes.
Good, good. Okay. So if you have your candle, take your candle out. And to open our workshop and our circle together, we're all just going to light our candle. So we have our candles lit. Welcome, welcome. Some more people might be sliding through over time, so that's okay. You can keep your videos on or off, whatever you're comfortable with. And to start, and I won't have you guys, don't worry, I won't have you like share or speak if you're uncomfortable in any way. But I do think it might be nice if we all just speak our names. Just, say hello, this is my name, and then kind of move on. So, I'm Michelle, hello, and I'll be doing a little introduction later. So, does somebody else want to go next?
Hi, I'm Jenny.
Hi, Jenny.
I'm Marcel.
Hi, Marcel.
I'm Jessica. Hi.
Hi, Jessica.
I'm Rachel.
Hi, Rachel.
I'm Pam.
Hi, Pam. Is that everyone? Do we have Carrie here? Oh, Carrie, you're on mute. Oh,
Oh,
that's okay.
hi. Yeah, I couldn't figure out how to get myself off.
I was like, it's fine. Hi, Carrie. Yes, it takes some getting used to doing the Zooming, but it's kind of fun. It's a nice way for us to be able to be together virtually and at home. So for those of us that have kids or those of us that are busy, it can be nice to have ways to see each other at home. And I was saying before that I'm recording this so that I can share it with you. And if you want to share it with a friend or somebody that couldn't make it or somebody you feel like would benefit from it, please share. This is a free workshop, so you are more than welcome and invited to share it. So thank you. Okay, so thank you all for opening the circle in the workshop with me. I'm going to share my screen with you. Okay. Can everybody see my screen?
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay.
Yeah.
Can you see it now?
I
No.
no. I see the pointer, the arrow
Huh.
moving.
Your
Oh yeah,
screen share
it's
is
coming up.
paused. Why is it paused? Is it? Can you see it now?
I
Let me
have
know.
gray in the center. It's just gray. What does everyone else have?
Same thing.
Okay, I'm sorry. Technical difficulties. Let me know when you can see it. I'm gonna try to it says it's paused. Sharing is paused, so I'm trying to figure out how to unpause that. Oh, well, that's weird. Okay. Okay, now I'm just in the gray. I'm just in the gray. Is that what's happening? Okay, hold on.
What about share this, like go out of share screen and then go back
And then
into
go
it?
back into it.
Yeah.
Okay. Stop share. Okay. Yeah, sometimes that's the best way to do it, huh? One participant can share at a time. Okay. Share. All right, let's try this again. Why does it keep pausing? Okay. Well, I'm going to hit play. Here we go. We figured it out. Sorry about that. Okay, so here is my slideshow. All right, so here's our workshop, ladies. Um, 1 second. Okay, there we go. So now you can see me with everything else. Okay, perfect. So welcome to the workshop. We lit our candle for light and love. Okay, so I am Michelle. And for those of you that don't know me, I am the owner of Sound Intuition. Sound Intuition is a business of I do massage, energy work, meditation, sound healing, emotional support, women's groups, workshops like this. I'm really trying to grow my online community. So I'm still new to doing things online, obviously, but we'll learn together. So it's so nice to meet those of you that I have not met yet and to be able to share with those of you that I know very well. So thank you all for joining. And we're going to begin. So our lesson plan for tonight is divine feminine, feminine wisdom, feminine power, feminine healing, and then we have a nice ritual planned for us all to do together. So the divine feminine. The divine feminine is a spiritual, philosophical concept representing the feminine aspect of the divine or sacred. It is not limited to women or femininity in a gender sense. Rather, it's a symbolic way of understanding balance, creation, intuition, nurturing within spiritual and universal systems. So we all have a feminine and a masculine side, all of us, whether we're male or female or two-spirited, whatever we are, all of us have that feminine inside. So we're going to be talking about that feminine aspect of ourselves, which is intuition, inner knowing, compassion, empathy, creativity, and birth, literal and metaphorical birth. Receptivity, openness, healing, nurturing, flow, and adaptivity, connection to nature, the moon and its cycles. It's also the feminine is our ability to just be, to allow ourselves to be ourselves, to just be and not have any, without any pressure. Like we are allowed to just sit and be without doing anything and just being. Which is so refreshing when you're allowed to just be and take all the pressures away. That is a feminine aspect. Um, Another feminine aspect is receiving. So it can be really hard to receive. I'm sure a lot of us can, I mean, I know I can relate to having trouble with receiving. And that's a very feminine trait that's not it's not honored enough in our society to be a receiver. It's like we are taught as women, as people to give, which is beautiful. But we need to be able to receive, or else how or is what we're giving going to be received by others, and then what others are giving to us to be received. So it's very, very important to also tap into that feminine aspect as well. Um, the divine feminine appears in many traditions: Hinduism, Christian mysticism, pagan and Wiccan beliefs, Taoism, and so much more. So there's a little bit on that for you guys to look at later. This slideshow I will also be sharing with you. Many spiritual frameworks see the divine feminine and divine masculine as complementary energies to be balanced, like the yin yang. If you think of a yin yang, the dark and the light, the black and the white, which the dark is actually the feminine and the light is the masculine, because the moon is all related to the feminine and the sun is related to the masculine. And I actually do a workshop all about the feminine and masculine aspects, and we talk about all the different characteristics of both. And it's really cool because you really start to be able to look at those sides of yourself and feel into those sides of yourself energetically, physically, emotionally. And you can even detect different spiritual or emotional wounds that you have, like masculine or feminine wounds on that side of the body that come out in an energetic or even physical way. Like you could have pain in your right shoulder, and that could be partially from a masculine wound. So I mean, we could get all deep into that, but we won't today. Um, but neither feminine or masculine is superior. Both are needed and both need balance. The divine masculine is associated with action, logic, structure, and protection. The divine feminine offers balance through being, feeling, and intuition. So that's just a little bit about each, the feminine and the masculine. In modern spirituality and self-development, the feminine is often a call to reclaim inner power through softness and self-awareness. It's a way to heal from patriarchal systems that suppress emotional intelligence and cooperation. So our emotions, our sensitivities can be, and this is men and women, remember, can be seen as, weakness. Vulnerability can be seen as weakness, but it's actually emotional intelligence. Like it's emotional intelligence for a reason. It's a beautiful strength. It's a beautiful power to create emotional intelligence. It makes your life so much easier. And it helps with cooperating with others, co-creating with others. A path towards wholeness and embracing both the feminine and masculine energies within ourselves. A way to work with feminine archetypes throughout history to help you and your life's path and through challenges. So all of this can be helped through working with the divine feminine and masculine, but especially the divine feminine. So how to connect with the divine feminine on a personal level. We tune into our intuition by practicing listening to your inner voice, keeping a dream journal, or trying intuitive writing, which is just having your journal and just writing down whatever comes to mind, whatever you're dealing with, whatever is just trapped in your monkey mind that just keeps spiraling over and over again. Even if it's just like a list of what to do, if that's stuck in your head, just intuitively writing and not stopping, not reading it, just letting it flow out. You can also use journal prompts, which I absolutely love doing because sometimes it's even too much pressure to intuitively write for me. I need like prompted. So the journal questions can really, really help light a fire in you, really help to create a lot of inspiration and help you tap a little bit into your intuition as well. Letting go of the need to figure it out logically. So those logic brains that we're taught to always use and push out the intuition, to trust what you feel. Because sometimes what we feel seems crazy or weird. But when you start to trust it, you can really feel in and realize the truth in what's there, the truth in what you're feeling, what you're thinking, what you have on this deeper level. So when you think of something or feel something, and your logic brain is like, oh, well, it could be this or that could be that, or I don't, it's probably logically not a ghost in the corner. Like, something like that. Like I think I see a spirit orb, or something like that. It doesn't have to be as crazy as that, but truly, like, did I just see something out of the corner of my eye? Oh no, it was probably just something floating. It could be something as simple as that. But to really start trusting those feelings, as big or as little as they may be. Honor your emotions. Your emotions are valid, and it's okay to feel. Create space for emotional expression through journaling, like we talked about, through art. And it can be simple art. Like, you don't have to be an artist to create art. You can just work with one color if you want, or work with swirls, work with designs, work with painting over a painting that you already have. I mean, it could be anything. It doesn't have to be painting. Like, art is creativity in all forms. Talking, singing. So I'm rereading the book Women Who Run with Wolves. And if you haven't read it, I highly recommend. But there was a quote in this book that I just read today and shared with some girls who were on retreat with me um, last month. And it was, the human speaks through the void, or the human speaks through talking. The soul and spirit speak through singing, which is really beautiful too, because like Native Americans, when they're chanting and drumming, that's their prayer. That's their prayer. Singing and chanting and drumming, that's their praying. So there's so much spirituality that can be done through singing and humming and chanting mantras, or like I said, even just humming, singing along to your favorite music. Like, it reverberates through your energetic system, breaking up stagnant things, really releasing this femininity within us, and these divine feminine aspects. So allow yourself to sing, whether you think you're a good singer or not, it doesn't matter. Pretend like you're in the car alone, or be in the car alone and sing in the shower or wherever. Um, okay. So honoring your emotions, recognizing emotions as wisdom and not weakness. They are strength. Vulnerability and emotions are strength and wisdom there. So pay attention to them, honor them, validate them, give them love, and they shall pass, even the hardest ones. Let yourself feel without judgment. Try not to judge yourself so much, which is so hard. Um, I usually give people the advice to speak to yourself internally as well as externally, but internally as if you were speaking to your best friend or your daughter. Like, whether you have a daughter or a best friend or not, it doesn't matter. Like, we all know how we would treat them. So if you say something to yourself and you're like, "Oh, would I say that to my daughter? Would I say that to my best friend? No, I probably wouldn't." So then reframe that and then say what you would say to your best friend back to yourself. And just make that a practice. And it's okay if you say something negative, just stop and then redirect it. Like, what would I say? And then say that. And that will help to train your brain to be nicer to yourself, which takes a while. I mean, it's easier said than done, of course, but this is why we do all these things together because we're not supposed to do them alone. It's hard to do it by yourself. We need community, we need accountability, we need support and space holding. So you're not in any of this alone. Okay, so next slide. Creative expression, engaging in activities like painting, singing, dancing, or storytelling. These are ancient feminine practices used to birth ideas and healing. Connect with the earth. The earth is very feminine. It's very divine feminine energy. So spend time in nature, garden, walk barefoot, sit quietly outside, sip your coffee outside, go on walks, just being outside in nature however you like to, however you can. And try some new ways to be outside, some new things to do outside. And if you need any ideas or a buddy, a friend to join you, this is what the community's for. So, Earth is often seen as the ultimate divine feminine symbol. That's why we call her Mama Earth. Through rituals and sacred practice, lighting candles like we did today to open our practice, set intentions. When you start to live through intention, things change. Magic happens. There is magic in intention. Intention is everything. Meditate. Create a new altar with symbols of femininity like shells and moonstones and roses and anything that taps into that feminine nature inside. Use goddesses, the images of goddesses, if it feels meaningful to you, like Isis, Kuan Yin, Bridget. There's so many different ones. We'll be talking a little bit about Hecate, which is also a very divine feminine goddess. Embrace your cycles. Observe nature's rhythms. So the moon phases, which we'll be talking about tonight too, the seasons, fall, winter, spring, summer. There is so much wisdom in each season. The elements, fire, water, wind, um, earth, there's so much there that teaches us. The animals, just observing, watching the animals, watching the flow of water, watching the fire burn, watching the wind blow. These things will ignite inspired wisdom within us that is in there. Like you are so divine and all the answers are in there. We just need to look within, turn within, and find them. We are taught to look without for answers, to look outside of ourselves for answers, to look to this person, to that person, whatever. No, I am here to show you and help you look within because you're already amazing. I just want to help you to see that and hold space for you while you do so. Oh, also, your menstrual cycle is so incredible. Whether even if you are at point of menopause, you can still learn a lot from what your menstrual cycle was, and then this new phase that you're in. If you're in menopause, like you are in your divine wisdom state. And when we tap into these different things and honor them, whew, it it feels so empowering. So a lot of times during our menstrual cycle, we're like, oh, I got my period again. Oh, I got, I'm cramping or this or that, or, we feel extra emotional or cranky or whatever. Yes, these things are true. But when we sit in them and really honor them and find the wisdom and space in that time, it's life changing. And there are so many different ways in which to do so. There was a practice that was called the red tent. And women used to, there's a book Again, I highly recommend that book too, The Red Tent. Women used to gather, they would all kind of sync up, and it would be around the new moon. So they would all sync up and they would all go into the red tent together. And even the women that were in menopause, they would join. And even the young girls who now I can't remember if the young girls who didn't menstruate yet were allowed in the tent or if they might be allowed like right before. But anyway, the women would gather in the tent and they would meditate, they would rest, they would all come together and speak on ways to make their tribe better, to make their community better, to talk about um, just everything that's going on and really create a community and really come up with some inspired things during this time. And so when they were done, they would come out and share with the rest of the tribe. And that was so revered and so amazing. It's so opposite of what is now. But yeah, so menstrual cycle, super important. Okay. Use these rhythms to guide rest, to guide action and reflection. Sync with the moon. Okay, so feminine wisdom and the moons. Now we're going to talk about feminine wisdom, the moon. All of nature and everything we see around us is moved and touched by the moon. She is a great magnet of energy. The moon changes the tides of our planet during the new and full moon. When sun and earth and moon are aligned, the gravitational forces of sun and moon combine, creating high and low tides, which are called spring tides. During the quarter moons, when the sun and moon are at right angles to each other, the gravitational forces partly cancel each other out, resulting in smaller tides called neap tides. Our planet is 70% water, and so are our bodies. The moon also changes the waters and emotional tides inside of us. So, we are water. Water moves through us, our blood, everything. Like the moon affects us. And when you sit with that, you will feel the truth in that. There is no denying it. Like, do you ever feel like when somebody tells you something and you're like, "Oh, that's wrong." Like I don't resonate with that. And then you feel other things and you're like, "Oh, I feel that in my soul." The moon and the waters and how it changes you when you sit with that knowledge, like you can really feel it. Um, we all go through cycles as the moon does. So the moon can teach us all about our cycles and transformations of life. Each moon phase reveals to us something more about life and growth. So now on to the moon phases. The new moon is a time to go within, to set intentions and goals for what we wish to manifest. So it's a time where you don't see the moon in the sky. It's dark because it's being um, blocked. So we just see a dark sky, but the energy of the moon is still there. And it's a time to really think about the goals, think about the intentions, think about our manifestations, to write them down, to do some type of ritual, or even just meditate with them, think about them, set them. Really rest during this time. You might notice that you're more tired during a full moon or a new moon. And this could be because it is a time to rest. That moon energy is telling you, hey, it's time to rest. And again, going back to the red tent where the women used to cycle around the new moon, if you have that, your cycle happens in the new moon, then that's just you're really cycled up with the moon. The waxing moon phase, which comes right after the new moon. So when the moon starts just like this crescent here, so when the moon starts to show again after the new moon, I call these like the fingernail moons. Like, these beautiful crescent moons is a time for inspiration, creating steps to work towards and leave room for our goals and manifestations that we set during the new moon. It's a time for rituals and journaling and meditations. So, creating those action steps for our intentions, our goals, our manifestations. The full moon is a time for celebration, things coming to completion, or things ending. Sometimes things end, or sometimes things complete. It's a time for letting go, releasing what no longer serves us, but also because it's a time for completion, it's a time for those celebrations. But yes, to release what no longer serves us, letting go, because that leaves room for other things to move in. The waning moon that comes right after the full moon, a time for introspection, thinking about what's working and what's not working. What went right during the moon phase and what didn't. A time for integration, to really integrate what happened during that moon cycle. And then we go back to the new moon. So those are the moon phases. I need to take a little drink. Okay, so when we sync with the moon's energy and wisdoms, we learn to embrace and honor every process and phase in our lives, knowing that each phase will pass, shift, and change. As women, we hormonally flow with the phases of the moon. So syncing with the moon allows us, oh, to become more meaningful and more powerful, but not in an egoic way. The power of being who we are meant to be, the power of being true to ourselves, and the power of realizing what it means to be a woman in this world. This is what has been stripped away from our memory, regardless of our gender. Every one of us has been hurt in some way or another by neglecting or forgetting our true nature. Men have suffered too because of the perverted image of women, which I feel like we can all kind of resonate with that. Um, okay, women have been mistreated for centuries and will still deal with these consequences, and we still deal with these consequences in this modern age. There is no woman on this planet that has not felt ashamed for this or that reason while growing up and reaching adolescence. How many of you were celebrated for having your first period? And even if you were, how did you feel? Even if you did celebrate or your mom did celebrate it, or, like maybe you still had to hide it from your dad and your brothers and things like that, or other people around you. It still was kind of a secretive thing. And if it wasn't, that's incredible. But for most of us, it was. This chain of shame is repeated over and over again for this reason or that reason. It's time to come back to the goddess and treating women as goddesses. Um, the women is the one with the power to bring humanity back into alignment. The feminine energy is rising, and we can all feel it happening. Women holds the key. She has lived underground in the darkness. She has been unseen, unrecognized, unknown, forgotten and abused, mistreated and insulted, treated worse than the worst criminals, avoided as a disease, and used only when needed by every man, woman, and even her own family, her own church, her own society. This gave her so much experience, though, so much endurance. She went through serious pain and suffering. Woman holds inner strength and intuition. She is psychic in her nature. She is attractive and magnetic. She is the moon, and she is not afraid of the dark. She has been there. She has made friends with the dark and terror. This gives her all she needs to resurrect and awaken. We cannot deny the fact that the patriarchy still lives today. It's still an energy that is here today. It has ebbed and flowed throughout centuries in different ways, throughout time, but it's still here and it's still felt by all of us. And women have been severely suppressed, especially women of color. And it's heartbreaking. It is heartbreaking. So when we come together and awaken together and do things like this and empower one another, we can see all that we are and be able to stand in ourselves, in our sovereignty. Okay, so next we're going to talk about Hecate. And I'm sure some of you might have heard of her. Some of you may not have. Some of you may have heard of her in under different names. But she is a really powerful archetype, and you will see why we're bringing her up and working with her today. So here's a picture of her. I have a couple different depictions of her. Hecate is a powerful figure in Greek mythology and is revered as the ancient goddess of magic, the moon, and the crossroads. Also known as the keeper of keys, she holds rule over thresholds, guiding us through transitions and offering protection through dark times. Hecate is a torchbearer, and her presence illuminates our paths. The month of November, especially November 16th, was a sacred time meant to honor her presence in our lives and to connect us with her transformative energy. On this day, we pay tribute to her role as the guardian of the crossroads, the protector of the night, and the one who holds the keys to the past, present, and future. Here's another picture of her. So maiden, mother, crone, the phases of the moon. She is past, present, future. And I really liked this quote here. My soul never wanted to be a princess. I've been a witch in all lifetimes. So some symbols of Hecate is the pomegranate, the raven, garlic, snake, wolf, keys, lanterns, mirrors. Hecate has three faces representing the three phases of a woman: maiden, mother, and crone. She helps you heal your maternal lineage and your wounds. She walks you through your darkness and is there to help you in each transition and phase of life as a woman. She is also the phases of time: past, present, and future. It is she who holds the keys to all the portals of time. She can help you heal trauma, be in the present moment, and build a future. Working with Hecate can also support you. She is connected to the moon and her ebbs and flows and can help you to use her keys to open more doors for yourself, to see what paths lie before you on the crossroads of life. She can help you find deep empowerment and feel the power every woman has within. She can help you in your shadow and inner child work. She can help you with things to do with death and grief, with shedding and rebirth and transformation. So, here's just a little chant for Hecate. There's a little bit more about snakes representing the shedding of falsehood and past mistakes, leaving them behind in order to thrive in your dark feminine power. And just some other things that are also associated with her here. And like I said, I'll share this slideshow with you so you can really sink into these symbols that represent her energy if you are called to work with her. Here's some more symbols, some more pictures. Okay, so before we go on to the ritual, I'm going to stop this share real quick and we're going to come back into our little circle. And I'm just going to leave room for it. Does anybody have any questions or comments so far that they want to, anything they want to ask, anything that they want clarified? Marcel, are you speaking? Because I think you're on mute.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, I got it now. I was not on mute and then I muted myself. So pretty much in alignment with what I was gonna say, honestly. So thank you for being here and for doing this. Definitely needed. And I don't realize there's always so much like going back and relearning um, and refocusing and realizing that I can transform at any period in my life. And but what is amazing to me is, looking at like you were like, oh, okay, I read Women Who Runs with the Wolves. I've studied like in college, like goddesses and things like that, but like read about it since I was a little kid. But there's like little things that like pop up still, that there's like continual learning, and it's refreshing in so many ways because you forget. This
Yes.
forgetfulness is just, it is so challenging. Like, that's my big struggle. Like, I forget that this makes me feel good. I forget that this is who I am. I forget that these are my, connections, that I'm intuitive. And, I just get so caught up in the everyday world. So, and like, I basically fall back to sleep, so to speak.
Yeah.
And how easy it is to do that, even though like, it's like a muscle, really. You don't use it and then you lose it, but it's always there, and it's never there like in a way where it's like admonishing you for not being there.
Yeah, that's so beautiful. Thank you for sharing. Because like what I was saying before about like this is the time where the feminine is rising. It is a time of remembering. It is a time of like I was saying, like all the answers are within, and we just need to remember that. We need to remember to ask and to be reminded, and to yeah, and to do this together. Again, like we were never meant to do this alone. And when we do it together, we learn a lot from each other and it's like putting a puzzle together. We all have a piece. We all have several pieces and we put them together and we might have, a bush and we're like, oh, cool, it's a bush. But then, Marcel comes over with her pieces and then there's a squirrel by that bush and, like there's more, like we just keep seeing more and more of the bigger picture and the bigger puzzle that we all have inside, and it all starts becoming so much more clear. And yeah, this is all a remembering, and it's a constant study, and every time I work with a different goddess or a different book or a different thing, it's like even if I like this book, this is the third time reading this book of The Woman Who Runs with Wolves, and I pick up new things every time and I resonate with new things or I learn new things. Like, when you watch a movie and you've seen it a million times, and you're like, oh, look at that guy's face in the background. Oh, what I'm saying? Like, it's the same kind of thing. Like, you just pick up on different things or you remember things that maybe you forgot or resonated with before. Yeah, and you just forgot. Exactly what you said, Marcel. You said it so beautifully. Thank you.
Thank you.
Does anyone else have anything they want to share? Okay, so if no one else wants to share, I'm going to share my screen again. Okay, so our we could do our feminine healing ritual. So grab your ritual supplies, your spray bottle or your jar. If you don't have a spray bottle, that's totally fine. Just grab some type of jar and you can always transport it into a spray bottle later on. Some flower petals, either fresh or dried, or even both. You can, your choice of any type of essential oils, fragrance oils that you have at home or with you that you chose, and some water. So I'll give you guys a minute to gather all of your supplies.
Hey, Michelle, should I already have some water in the spray bottle?
No, no,
Okay.
yeah. So first, we're going to fill the bottle a third of the way full of water. So, whoop, just a little bit in the bottom so that there's just some water and we got lots of room. So since I can't see you, I'm just gonna wait a couple, a couple beats in between steps to give you guys time and space to do so. So fill the bottle. Does everybody have all their supplies with them before we start?
Yep.
Okay, great. So yeah, filling a little bit of our water. Then step two, we take our essential oils or fragrance oils and we put a few drops of oil into the water. And while you drop your oils in, think of an intention for your journey as a woman. So maybe it's like healing, maybe it's empowerment, maybe it's remembering. So just sit with it and you can smell as you put in the drops. Take a woof, take a whiff, a whiff of the water and smell your blend. So I have some orange essential oil, some lavender, and my Cleopatra blend that I'm gonna put a few drops into mine. So again, I'll give you guys some time to do that. Try not to overthink it. You're an alchemist. Okay, so we put our oils in. Now we're going to gather some flower petals. I have some fresh flower petals and a dried, semi-dried little rose petal. And what we're going to do with our petals is place a couple flower petals into your hands and whisper a prayer for yourself and your maternal lineage into the petals. So you can do this in your mind, or you can literally whisper it in, whatever feels right for you. Go into that heart space. Feel into what prayer you need for yourself. And odds are your lineage needs that too. Or if you can think of a specific prayer that you want for your maternal lineage, and just the women in your family, the ones you've met, the ones you haven't met. And once you have that prayer set into those petals, make a little opening and blow your prayers into your hands, into those petals. And then place them into your body. And you can do that 2 more times, or sorry, up to 3 times. I mean, you could do it more than that if you want, but for tonight, we're going to do it 2 more times, okay? So up to 3 times total. So when you're done, go ahead and take a deep breath and exhale. Maybe shake the arms out a little. And we'll move on to step 4, is to close your bottle or jar and mix. Shake it up, mix it up, swirl it up. If you have a jar without a lid, use a spoon. Stir it up however you can. Really feel all those intentions, all those prayers mixing, swirling, combining together. Feel all that energy, hear the sound of the water. Shaking your left hand, shaking your right hand, use both hands. And then step 5 is to smell. Smell the bottle and add any more oils if you wish to. And then when you have that desired smell that you want, add more water. And then shake again. Okay. Step 6 is to spray your bottle onto your skin. Feel the smell of your prayers and intentions. If you have a jar, just kind of sniff it. So spray it onto your skin, spray it onto your face, into the air. Smell your prayers and intentions. Close your eyes, taking a few breaths while you smell. And feel in. I like to spray it over my head and let it just fall down on me like rain. And in the summertime, I really like to have some type of spray bottle with me when it's hot. So sometimes I will bring a spray bottle like this with some oils. Sometimes I do peppermint because it's cooling. And I'll spray myself in the heat of the summer. Sometimes I'll put it in the fridge and then you have some cold water. And I'll take it camping with me or on hikes and this is what I'll be using uh all summer long. So I invite you to do the same or whenever you feel called to use this personal mist that we've created. So, has everyone completed their ritual spray?
Mhm.
Yep.
Yes.
Yes.
Good.
Yes.
Good. So, thank you so much for doing that ritual with me, with each other, with all of us. Um, I'm just going to talk a little bit about so this book that I have a picture of it on the screen there. So, it is The Moon and the Sacred Feminine, by Moon Omens, and it is a lot of the material that I went through today is from this book, and I'm going to be doing a whole teaching on this entire book, like going through the book bit by bit, chapter by chapter, section by section, and really diving deep, presenting with journal questions and different things like that. So if that's something you're interested in diving a little bit more into, I am doing that on my Patreon. It's called Mystic School. So we're going to, in Mystic School, we we're starting with this book. We'll be doing other books as well, but we're starting with this book. And there's also going to be an audiobook version of this book um, that I'm reading. So it'll be my voice as the audiobook for this book. And this book is it's a deep dive into feminine secrets, into different goddess archetypes. And we're going to take a deep dive into the chapters. Just a little sneak peek into the sections. There's many chapters, but there are a couple sections. And the first section is the moon and mythology, history and stories of several different female archetypes. There's even a chapter about women and death, which is really interesting. Um, the se the second section is the long forgotten tale of menstrual blood and cycles. Excuse me. The third section is all about healing the wounded feminine. The fourth section is practical advice and guidance. So, excuse me. That is something I'm going to be doing over on my Patreon. It's a sanctuary for those who are ready to embrace their feminine power. There is another thing on the Patreon. It is moon magic, where I really dive deep into the phases of the moon and moon rituals and moon meditations, moon tarot spreads or oracle card spreads. Um, so that's also there as well. And there's a link here, and I'll share that too with you guys in another email. Um, and um, so I wanted to also share with you some other things that are coming. There's an in-person moon circle gathering. It's a women's group gathering. This month, Saturday, June 21st. It's at 6:30, and it's a summer solstice celebration. So we'll be celebrating the summer solstice together. If weather will allow us, we'll have a fire. So we'll see about this rain if it allows us. It'll be at my studio space in Castle Shannon, which is in Pittsburgh, the South Hills of Pittsburgh. Um, and then at the end of the month, me and a few local businesses are doing a Midsummer's Night Fair. And there'll be lots of vendors with lots of fun, whimsical things to buy, to look into. Friday, June 27th, from 4 to 8. And that is such a fun event. It's something that was started because I have so many friends who are so talented and know so many small businesses who, I wanted to support. So this is a beautiful way to support the women in my life and for us all to create things and have it's so much fun. It's fun whether you're a vendor or just coming to the fair. It's so we all dress up. We dress up like fairies and different whimsical creatures, and we just have so much fun. And everybody who comes is invited to dress up too. There's performances, there's vendors. Like I said, there's different shopping at different local shops like Moonstones and this antique store that's right next to Moonstones that's really beautiful too. Um, it's a fun night. It's a really fun, exciting night. And I I'm it's just so I'm like at a loss of words because it's it's so amazing to be able to work with all of these beautiful women who have they're so talented. Like so many of my friends, my one friend, she's a baker, so she loves to bake. Like it brings her so much joy and she's so talented. She'll be there with baked goods. My other friend who's an artist, like she makes so many beautiful so much artwork, blends of oils, like so many different things. Like she's gonna have like such an eclectic booth, and her artist friend is also joining, and that's gonna be so much fun. My sister, and her husband, they are beekeepers, and they'll have their honey there. Um, there's going to be readings and oh, just so much really beautiful, beautiful vendors and yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. So if you want to join us, please join us. Come bring anybody you think would also enjoy that. Another thing that's coming up that I don't have on here is I will be teaching Reiki classes, Reiki 1 and 2. That would be an in-person class because I feel that you get much more out of it in person and um it's it's just really to me I think it's a class that is better to take in person and Reiki is one of those things that a lot of people hear that word and they feel like they have to go to a healer for Reiki or they have to go to like a specific they have to go somewhere for it, but Reiki is for everyone. Reiki ignites your ability to feel energy, to recognize the energy of everything around you. You have this ability already, but it ignites it deeper. There's attunements that help you to really tap in. And then you're taught also how to, different ways to. And then you kind of come up with your own. It's so amazing. But Reiki is first and foremost for you to practice upon yourself, for you to help you. And then once you're, comfortable, if you want to start helping others or even your animals or your family or, friends or whatever you want to do with it, you can use it for others too. But again, it's first and foremost for you and to help you to tap into these amazing energies and really like I think it helps to ignite that divinity within too. This feminine power that we're talking about. Like, I think it helps to ignite all of that as well. So, if that's something you're interested in, I am teaching some classes in July. It'll be on a Saturday and Sunday. Like, Saturday will be Reiki 1, Sunday will be Reiki 2. It's like all day classes. And I'll be sending out information about that too. So, there's some fun things to join in person if you'd like to as well. And then also the Patreon virtual. And then I will be doing some other things virtually too. But the Patreon is really the place where I'm going to be doing most of my virtual work. So, and we'll be doing some virtual moon circles as well on there. So that's a place to find all of that. And so before we end, I just want to thank you so much for joining this workshop. And I really want you to just never forget that you are worthy, you are deserving, and you are divine. But I'm going to stop my screen share now so that we can kind of come together. And yeah, so I can see your faces. I'm just going to move this so I can see everyone. And I want to thank you again. And I want to leave room now in case anybody would like to share um, any feedback or any questions or anything to integrate this workshop. I want to leave it open, but no pressure. You don't have to. And you could always contact me anytime after this as well.
Thank you so much. I enjoyed it.
Oh, good. I'm so glad. I hope that it helps you to work more with these things we talked about too.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you for coming.
I loved it. Thank you, Michelle.
Oh, good. Thank you for coming.
Yeah, I definitely enjoyed it. It was good to be here. Thank you.
Good.
Thanks, Michelle.
Oh, you're welcome. Oh, I couldn't hear you, Pam, if you said something.
What you do, and thank you for hosting this
Oh, oh, you're welcome. I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you for a minute there, but you're welcome, Pam. Thank
That's
you for
okay.
coming.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we're going to take our candles, and to end, we're just going to all together, yeah, grab our candles. We're going to take a nice big deep inhale, and on the exhale, we'll blow out our candles. Okay, so deep inhale and exhale. Beautiful. Thank you guys so much. And like I said, I'll share the slideshow with you, I'll share the recording with you, and I hope to see you guys again soon. Thank you so much for joining. Bye.